Hey guys, so just a little warning before the video starts. I got a little bit excited about my new camera and for some reason I didn't have my mic running. Yeah, there's going to be some like crackling and noises throughout the video. It's not going to be the standard audio quality you guys expect. So I apologize about that. Also, like I'm like centered way too right of the camera, so yeah, I messed up, but please enjoy the rest of the video though.
Hello everyone and welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1068 of One Piece. First of all, just want to wish everyone happy Thanksgiving. Didn't have a review last week, so didn't get to say so. Also, my birthday was that Tuesday before the Thanksgiving, so man, your boy's older now. I don't know what to do with that information, but treated myself to a new camera for my birthday, so super excited about that. Hope this video looks super clean, super crisp and icy for y'all. Hope y'all guys enjoy. Also, check out this hoodie my boss bought me for my birthday. Fucking love it. So anyway, before we get into this review, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It would mean the absolute world to me. Anyway, without much further ado, let's get into this review. Chapter 1068, A Genius's Dream. So, first of all, gotta do my favorite part. Well, not my favorite part, but one of my favorite parts of the chapter, and that is the cover story. So we have Judge and Caesar Clown beefing, and then you can see this little like shared thought memory bubble, and it's clearly Vegapunk in the middle, and you see these silhouettes on either side. And I kind of interpret it as, you know, Judge and Caesar back when they were like young apprentices working under Vegapunk for Mads. I can't wait to see those designs of them when they were much younger, and I can't wait to get like Mads flashbacks of all them working together. And I can kind of assume or piece together that they had this kind of relationship where it was, I don't want to say adversarial, but I feel like they were the type to like, you know, kind of vie for Vegapunk's attention, right? But Vegapunk is just so engrossed in the science and stuff. I feel like it's one of those situations where they didn't really get it from him. So I can't really wait to, you know, get into that. Also, I think this is kind of a setup for like a subversion. Like, it's cool that they're beefing and stuff, but I do think eventually they're going to put their differences aside, unite, and the science they create together is going to be next level. Anyway, let's get right into that chapter. So we have Pythagoras basically conveying the orders that he was given by Shaka last chapter and telling the CP0 in the most polite way possible that they cannot dock. Honestly, I found it super cute. I found it super endearing. I don't know why. It wasn't until this moment, but I kind of started giving Pythagoras like the voice of like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. Like, it was just that innocent, docile, but like depressed kind of like, oh yeah, sorry, you can just leave Esper. Like, he can, you know, he can find his way here, and yeah, y'all can get the go on. Like, oh my god, that was too funny to me. So I really enjoyed that. But you know, CP0 pretty much puts, you know, two and two together, and they're like, okay, this is like the smartest man in the world. He's onto us. He knows that something is up. But, you know, he uses this as an opportunity to talk to them, and he's just like, hey, do you know anything about, you know, all the, like, government ships that have, you know, been sent to Egghead and have suddenly disappeared? And, you know, of course, plausible deniability, they're like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm sure, I'm positive all the ships, we saw them off. So he's just playing dumb. I love it. I'm starting to like and understand and respect the capabilities of these mechanized sea beasts. At first, I didn't think they were anything too, you know, amazing, and I was like, any half-decent pirate crew or like marine ship or whatever would be able to take them out. But it does seem like they are a threat, which makes me wonder why, you know, ship battles haven't been more of a showcase in One Piece. Like, if it really truly is such an easy feat to like defeat a pirate crew by like screwing over their ship, you would think, you know, there would be more focus on like better like naval warfare and like tools to, you know, get ships sunk. more use of fishmen, but then again, you could maybe attribute that to the racism. Then again, obviously you can't control Sea Kings, and these were mechanical Sea Kings, so I digress. But I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of that. That seems to be something really, really important. Anyway, Lucci basically decides, hey, you know what? It's whatever. We're going to leave the ship and we're going to board the island using the ability of S-Bear. So it kind of, and later on, we find out about the rest of the Seraphim, but I'm just going to talk about it now. They're all S and then whatever they are. So before, I thought he was stuttering, like, what, shark? But no, it's S Shark. This is S Bear. And later on, what's his name? Shaka tells him to, go release S Hawk, S, basically the other ones. What was it? S Hawk, S Snake, and not S Bear, but like all of them, right? And we can kind of assume, Flamingo's gonna be S Flamingo, S Gecko, like all those. So we could assume that, right? So I found that to be really interesting, that naming scheme, and also it kind of really brought to my attention that, like, oh yeah, the original Shichibukai all had like animal either names or themes. So that was really like, interesting, right? But yeah, Lilith, she loses her cool. She's like, what are you guys implying? Gets mad, takes the mic, and yeah, Lucci's like, okay, whatever, we're about to board. We see back over at the whatever island that, Crocodile and Kuma and the rest of the Revolutionary Army are on. We see Kuma still, trying to get here, and he uses his pawpaw fruit, hits himself, and sends himself flying. I think this is going to be super awesome. I can't wait for the touching reunion between Bonnie and Kuma, and I'm really, really, really hoping that the thing that Vegapunk had to give Jewelry Bonnie is, like, his memories, or is basically, I really hope that he will be able to repair Kuma in some way, shape, or form, memories, yada yada, blah, say blah, and we're going to have a really just sweet uniting reunion between the two of them once Kuma gets here, right? Anyway, speaking of Kuma getting here, though, I am very interested in how long it'll take him to get here. Originally, when Kuma used his powers to send the Straw Hats all over the world, a lot of them were sent flying for days, I think some even weeks. And so depending on how far away this island is, I would expect that same amount of time. However, Oda is usually cognizant of this stuff, but it would be very weird if, Kuma was able to arrive conveniently, just when he was needed. So I don't know. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief in, like, how long he gets here for the sake of the story, but I do know that this might be a point of contention for, some very anal fans, if you catch my drift. Anyway, the internet wasn't just Vegapunk's main dream. That's a goal Vegapunk has. That's something amazing that Vegapunk would like to introduce to the world, but that's not his big dream. His big dream is to create free energy. Now, I don't know what, like, we could kind of assume it's nuclear fusion or whatever the One Piece equivalent to nuclear fusion is. It's probably not going to be nuclear fusion, but you guys get my drift. Like, it's basically, that's what it is for us here, so I'm wondering what it is for the One Piece world. What motivated Vegapunk to, do this was he's very curious about the ancient fuel source used to power up the robot before. So yeah, he knows the CP0 here. He knows he delved way too much into the ancient history, and no one, not even someone like Vegapunk, can be alive that knows anything about the ancient history, as it proves a threat to the world government.
So something I forgot to touch on in this review is the fact that for someone who's the smartest man in the world, I really do think that Vegapunk is naive. We've been shown that there's a bit of a naivety to him. Earlier on when he was talking about first of all, like, making the internet and stuff and just letting people upload whatever they want, and Jinbei kind of confronts that with the whole idea of, well, what if people upload bad ideas. We see it when Dragon's talking to him about joining the Marines. He's like, "Oh, it's for the sake of knowledge, it's worth it." And now we're seeing it again with this energy thing, where he essentially says basically that, like, if If raw power can be converted to a more apparent and accessible form, we'd never see another conflict spark up over it again. And I was just like, uh, you're sweet. You're sweet, Vegapunk, but like life doesn't work that way. And something we've definitely seen from villains in One Piece before is the fact that like there are just some people that don't want others to have certain things, that don't feel others deserve certain things, that they're above them. And even if everyone does have access to, infinite energy, it doesn't mean that, there aren't other people that want to take it away from others simply because they think only they deserve it, they don't think others deserve it, and stuff like that. So there's definitely a theme of naivety when it comes to Vegapunk.
So, CP0 shows up and, they immediately board, right? And so as they're coming, I just think it's freaking hilarious. It is really hilarious how like so oh man, I forget the one dude, Kaku? Yeah, Kaku. Um So there's a couple of hilarious moments where they board Egghead Island, and at first they're immediately greeted by this giant hologram, and they're all throwing these attacks at it. And it's not until after they throw like various attacks at this hologram, Stussy is basically like, "That's a hologram," and they're like, "Hey yo, like, tell us that ahead of time. We just wasted all this time and energy shooting at this hologram that like would do nothing for us, right?" And so Kaku's like, and I'm gonna go up, and obviously, if this is Egghead Island, Vegapunk's gonna be in the Labosphere, so I'm gonna go up there and go ahead and check on him. And so as he's going up, he passes these two like double lines, and it's basically like a security measure, tripwire, whatever you want to call it. And once he gets up there, he gets, I don't know if he's electrocuted or bombarded, like all I know is he gets jacked up. And Susie's like, yeah, so once you cross the first line of that, it identifies you as an intruder and like attacks you. And once again, it's like, Stussy, say this shit like when it's relevant. Like, so, oh man, I just love how Oda is like always willing to like spare some humor, throw some stuff in, and really like catch us by surprise. So like that was really hilarious. I really like that. So yeah, while all this is happening, like I mentioned earlier, Shaka is mobilizing all their forces. He's having this the Seraphim that are on the island awakened and sent out. Vegapunk has somehow teleported himself to the Laosphere, so very excited to learn more about that technology. And so in the meantime, we see Atlas just rushing out. And honestly, this brought up a question that I had earlier with Lilith, when Lilith tried to attack the Straw Hats, and it's like, if the Vegapunks are so smart and retain all the knowledge of like Vegapunk, like why would you be stupid enough to attack Rob Lucci, who is far superior combat-wise than you? But I think basically what they're trying to get at with Lilith when she tried to manipulate and attack the Straw Hats, and Atlas now when she tried to attack Lucci is, yes, they are all like smart and have the same either intelligence and memories and whatnot as the original Vegapunk, but they are all individually hyper attuned to their personalities. So even though they may know that like this dude is super powerful or whatnot, she is as we were told with the Seraphim and the other experiments, the mechanized sea beasts. It's their nature. They're pulled towards their nature, and Atlas's nature is rage. And when you are in a rage, you don't really think. You don't think things through. Your judgment is clouded. Your mental facilities are arrested. So she goes and tries to attack Rob Lucci, and Rob Lucci immediately Rokuogan, Six King guns her, and it is not pretty. She is.
You got knocked the fuck out!
Yeah, she gets furred, bro. She gets furred. And something I'm very curious is what happens exactly if a satellite dies. Is there some kind of backup? Can they just be rebuilt? Does that personality return to Vegapunk? So yeah, there's a lot of questions there. Anyway, right after that, Rob Lucci immediately, I was very like, this whole arc is just surprising because things that would normally take many chapters to develop happen like immediately. immediately, sometimes even that same chapter. But Luffy runs immediately into Lucci, only remembers him as, you know, Pigeon Guy, and that's where we end the chapter. And I am so lit because I could not wait. I was so hyped for this interaction, and like there's so many ways this could go. Like the first way, and like I will be satisfied with this, is Luffy just one-shots Lucci. Just like you're not even a problem now. Like this is Yonko Luffy able to go Gear 5, able to use Advanced Conqueror's Haki, you know, was able to fight toe-to-toe with the likes of Kaido and Big Mom, and like this is almost pretty much like, I want to say like 90-95% endgame Luffy. There is nothing Lucci can do. So like I would be satiated if, you know, Luffy does one-shot Lucci, but I also feel like, you know, Luffy's a boss now. We gotta put respect on him. He's a boss now, and if there's anything we know about bosses, you don't just get to step to the boss. And so, like, I would really love one of two people to fight Lucci. Honestly, I thought it would be cool with Zoro, but, you know, Zoro's on the ship. They missed him because, you know, they got sent over on the island using, which, by the way, I forgot to mention this, Esper has the original Kuma's Devil Fruit ability. So that was interesting. When they said earlier we'll use his ability, I thought it might be possibly be the Pawpaw, but I thought it might be something else. But no, it ended up being the Pawpaw fruit, right? And so Zoro would be cool. I thought Sanji too, because, you know, Sanji's like, you know, the third up, kind of, fourth, for those people that think, you know, Jinbei might be stronger. Who knows at this moment? But I would really, really love if it was Jinbei. You know, he's the honorable knight. You could think of him as, like, you know, the protector of, like, the crew, the father of the crew, and, like, you know, he's the oldest, the wisest, and so he kind of knows, you know, how these things go, how these things, like, should be, and he steps up and should say something along the lines of, you know, this is the Pirate King. You don't have, you know, the authority to address him. That would be fire. Or actually, so that would be fire. And also, the reason I would like it to be Jinbei is because the CP0 worked directly for the Celestial Dragons, and the Celestial Dragons are like the direct cause of a lot of the pain and suffering of the Fishman. So there's a personal connection there, right? Also, Jinbei literally just fought, like, I don't want the opposite of whatever a protege is, but like the original version, who's who of Rob Lucci. So it would be really interesting if, you know, after that fight, he immediately fights another CP0. He fights, you know, the better version of who's who. The other person that would be cool to fight, but I don't know quite if she could hang, would be Robin, just because of all the trouble, pain, anguish, and grief that CP0 has caused her. So that would be super cool. So whatever happens, honestly, is going to be enjoyable. And I just love the fact that, like, we're not going to have to wait long. Literally, like, just one more chapter and we're going to get it. So, Oda, keep doing your thing, man. I'm hyped. Last thing I want to talk about is, this seems too simple. It seems too easy. Oda is either doing one of two things. He's either doing the obvious and showing us that, hey, the Straw Hats are like that now. They're a Yonko crew. Like, shit ain't sweet out here. They can handle themselves. He's either going that route, or he's going to subvert our expectations and something really, really bad is going to happen. CB0 is nowhere near the, you know, the threat of this island. It's actually going to be some big bad. Who that big bad is, I haven't the fondest. Also, a throwaway line that, like, Shaka said was that they were, or no, it was Pythagoras, that one of the other government islands is nearby. And we also did hear, you know, that conversation where they were begging them to, one of the admirals or whatever, I think it was Dahl, to go to Egghead Island because the Seraphims were there, to get some Seraphims to go help locate Kobe. So maybe other Marines are on their way to this island as we speak. But I do have a feeling that, like, this just can't be it, simply because we have the Straw Hats on this island. We have the Seraphim, which are Shichibukai level at minimum. possibly even stronger. We don't really know. And then we have the actual Bartholomew Kuma coming. So like the CB0 are completely outnumbered and outclassed and outmatched in every regard. There is no possible hope for them, which makes me think it's not going to go that way because it's just too easy. It's too simple, right? Oh, speaking of people on this island, also he mentioned Sentomaru is here, and I was actually shocked by that because I thought Sentomaru was like a legit marine, but it based upon the fact that like he said have Sentomaru come out, it kind of seems that Sentomaru is more what's it called, allied with Vegapunk than he is the Marines. I didn't have any clue about that. Maybe I missed it in the reading, but that was a shock to me. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. This was one of those chapters that felt super, super quick. I'm not going to lie to you. Wasn't a bad chapter, wasn't the greatest chapter. It's just going to be one of those it's going to be a tie-in chapter. One that just connects the previous chapter that we had to the next chapter that we had. And on its own, decent chapter, nothing to complain about, just nothing really special occurred here. We didn't learn anything like extraordinarily new, right? But other than that, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and have a great weekend. This has been Otaku Talk. I'm your host, OD. Take care. Peace.